I'm Barry Eisler. I write full-time, mostly a thriller series about a half Japanese, half American assassin named John Rain. I spent 3 years in a covert position in the CIA. I learned a lot of things that you would expect me to learn in a position in the CIA, tradecraft stuff. But in some ways, on an even more profound level, what I learned was how a big intelligence bureaucracy functions, or more often malfunctions. In 1993, I was living in Tokyo. I had taken a leave of absence. We had some Japanese friends who were taking us to some of just the great things that a city like Tokyo has to offer, and all the elements that I was so passionate about at the time, training in judo and going to the jazz clubs and the whiskey bars and the coffee houses and all that kind of stuff, somehow catalyzed into a story and a character. Started working on the novel then. Fast forward, I worked on it for about 8 years, and at that point, everything went as well as you could reasonably hope for. But it was also a pretty frustrating ride at times too, because things were being done that I did not approve of, and I didn't have the power to get those things changed. So a few years back, once self-publishing had become a real thing, in my opinion, I realized that my paper sales were rapidly dropping, my digital sales were exploding. I was making, I don't know, something like a 15% royalty on digital, and I knew I would make 70% if I self-published a book. So I said, all right, I'm gonna do this. And because there was a nice soundbite, New York Times bestselling author walks away from $500,000 advance to self-publish, there was a decent amount of media attention. And Amazon, at that point, got in touch with me and essentially said, we read about your decision, we think it's a great idea, and we think we have a really cool way where you could get all the benefits you want from self-publishing, while at the same time having Amazon's marketing muscle behind you. Do you want to talk more? I mean, what could I say to that? Of course I want to talk more. So instead of self-publishing the book was The Detachment. I wound up publishing it with Amazon. And for me, it's worked out beautifully. Sales and revenues have been fantastic. I'm dealing with some really smart, creative, energetic people who get it. And we collaborate in a way that I was never invited or welcome to collaborate when I was in the legacy world. I love Amazon KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing. A set of attractions I think that'll be important for anyone who's considering self-publishing is going to be the significantly higher per unit royalty, typically 4 times what you would get in the legacy world. Control over business decisions, that means the book title, the cover art, the overall packaging, and faster time to market. It's certainly helped me reach far more readers, just based on the number of books we've been selling. We live in a world of new choices for authors that we never had before, which means more power for authors. When there's only one game in town, that's not good for authors. It means you have to take it, right? But if there are choices, then authors have more power and more opportunities, more flexibility, more ways that we can reach a mass market of readers. How can that not be good for authors? Personally, I think that's awesome. I hope all formats stay healthy. I care a lot more about the fact that people read than I do about how they read. As long as it makes readers happy and we can get it to them cost effectively, that's what I want to see, because reading's important.